Come on, take forever. Hello everyone, my name is Scomicmaker and welcome back to another episode of Free Draw Friday. So this week I decided that I was going to try out some different types of markers, considering you guys always see me use Copics, and I've actually had these Chameleon markers sitting around my room for a very long time. My mother-in-law bought them for me as a gift and I think they're super cool, but I have never tried to do a full illustration with them, so we are going to try that out today. So if you don't know, Chameleon markers have kind of three sides to them, sorta, as you saw at the beginning of this video. There's a bold side, then there's a brush side, and then there is a colorless blender side that you put the marker, the colorless blender, upright on top of the color you want to use to make it kind of transparent, and then it like fades into the color. So I've played with them before on a piece of paper, but I never tried to do an illustration with them, so I thought that it would be a cool idea to give it a shot this week. But as you saw from the intro, there are some problems with these markers, and we'll get into that in a second. For our drawing this week, I don't know why, but I ended up drawing a witch. I was sitting there doodling, trying to think of something fun that I could really use the full extent of these markers, because like I said, they do go from transparent to color. And at first I thought flowers, but all the Chameleon marker stuff that I've seen, a lot of people try to draw flowers, and I wanted to try to incorporate it with a person, so I immediately thought of hair, because hair is super fun for me to draw. So I wanted to do like really long hair, and then I thought, what other stuff could I do? And then I thought a dress, and then I thought a hat, and then it just turned into a witch kind of. And it's funny because I ended up, in the end, you'll see, coloring her dress in black, so fading it didn't really matter. But I really had a good time with this drawing. It's been a while since I kind of just, I don't know, drew something random. Recently, especially in these videos you guys have seen, I've been kind of drawing a lot of fan art, so I wanted to just make something up on the spot. And I apologize if my voice sounds kind of raspy this week. I actually transferred to a new school, and I'm having a blast and meeting lots of new kids, and so I've been talking a lot, introducing myself, and well, it's like killed my voice completely, so I apologize if I'm a little hoarse this week. Any hooty doody woody. That's weird, I'm sorry. Let's talk a little bit about these Chameleon markers. Now, you'll see in a second, once I start coloring, at first, like, they seem super cool. And I'll be honest, the colors are super bright and very vibrant. In the end of this drawing, I like the end result of it. The colors are really, really solid and very rich. Sometimes Copics can seem kind of pale in comparison to some other alcohol-based markers, so I was excited to see the color come out of these Chameleon markers, but I have to say, I don't think that they're worth the wait, if that makes sense. And you'll see in a second, I cut out a lot of clips of me just waiting. So the way that these markers work, as I said at the beginning, is there is a colorless blender, so like a transparent color, that you put at the top of, like the very point, you'll see in some of the clips, you put it on the point of the color, and as you're coloring in, it kind of puts the colorless blender juice, I guess, on the top of the marker. And so when you start coloring, it starts off transparent, and the further you go, the color starts coming back. And it does make a really cool effect, but there, like I said, are problems. Like, you can't do very large areas. Later on, I try to color in the moon, and I ended up giving up and just coloring it in solid, because there was no way, once you start doing that fade, it's so easy to mess up. If you miss one corner, you have to try to hope to match the transition from colorless to color again if you try to fix it. It's easy for small areas like in the skin. You can see I just kind of like had a highlight and then went to the dark part of the skin, and that was cool. Those parts are cool. Doing the hat was pretty cool, going from like the white to the light blue. But then once I started to try to add black, it just, I don't know, fell apart for me. I was tired of waiting all the time for the marker color to come back, or so sometimes it would come back too quick or not quick enough. And they give you a little paper with this set of markers that tells you how long you should wait for what kind of effect you want or how long you want your color to go, but I couldn't seem to match the timing correctly, and it just started getting more and more frustrating to work with as I went along. And when it came to the hair, I probably should have thought about it more. I was trying to do like a red fade, and I didn't like the way the white was going, like white to red, so I decided that I was going to go black to red. And I kept going back and forth, trying to make the red go into the black, and then I realized that I should have just, I don't know, faded from white to black and then just colored the red on top of it. It probably would have been a lot easier than starting with red first. So there's some trial and error, and I probably use these again just to see if I can get a better hang of it. But the biggest problem for me was waiting. Like, I'm really impatient, I guess, when I color, because all I want to do is color. I don't want to have to wait every time between 5 to 20 seconds, depending on how long I want the transition and the color to go, just so that I can color a section. Like, I ended up spending almost 2 hours on this drawing just waiting on the colors. So, would I use these again? Absolutely. They're really fun. What I would do next time is, if I was drawing a girl in like a pretty dress or something, I would probably like make a flower pattern for her dress and then use these chameleon markers for the flowers, actually. Or if I was going to do another like faded hair, but I was going into white or from white, I would probably use them again for that. Because it does look cool, and like I said, the colors are really, really solid. But they can be very frustrating. And also, I got these as a gift, but I went and looked them up, and they can be pretty pricey. I'll leave a link to the Amazon for these markers in the description if you are interested in seeing them, but they're pretty pricey for what you're getting, and I don't believe that they are refillable. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. You might need to do some more research on it, but I just feel like for the color, it's fantastic, but I don't think you'd be able to use them for a long time, and they're, like I said, a little frustrating. So if you guys have ever used chameleon markers or seen anybody else use them before, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think, or do you think you would try these out? Like I said, they are pretty cool, but they're pretty expensive, and I don't think that you can refill them like you can with Copic markers. So anyway, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Despite me saying that it was frustrating, this was actually really fun to draw, and I kind of like the way that she came out. She's kind of cool. So, well, I will catch you guys another time. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope that we can draw together again soon. Bye, guys.